There isn't too much that's happened since the last live stream. Like, I'm trying to think. When did I do the last live? What, 2 days ago? Or was it last night? I think it was... No, that was last night. So, nothing's really changed since then. I mean, there's a couple of things that have kind of changed, I suppose. Um... Well, let's see. So, Shiniqua, Colorado, the '04 Avalanche Z71 that my dad picked up over a year ago now. Or not quite a year, actually. Kind of think it's only been 8 months? 9 months? Something like that. Anyways, regardless. She's still having a pulsating brakes. So, I'm putting more mileage on the truck before we tackle said brakes. So basically, I think, like, I will go to Olds again tomorrow, but I'm also going to post a short little video of starting up the T-Bird. And mind you, it's been over a month since I started the T-Bird. I hope that the battery isn't dead, because it might be. Come to think of it, I didn't realize it was sitting there for that long. Then I looked back on my text messages and realized, oh crap. So yeah, it's been almost a month now. Actually, I think it's been over a month since she's been over there. So I guess we'll just find out if the battery's dead or not. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that, and then I'm also there's another auction coming up in Olds. So I'm going to check out the auction, and so you guys will see a video on that. I don't think that my buddy Keith is interested in anything there, so I am just going to just do the video and then post it just about right away. So don't have to worry about, like, all that stuff will actually be current. So if anybody's interested in seeing that stuff, because that auction's coming right up, actually. Boo! Ryan's leaving. Boo! Alright, no worries. Take care, man. Have a lovely rest of your shift. Meanwhile, I'm just here, and I'm hanging out. And so, yeah. So that'll be the next video you guys see. Like, with the T-Bird, like, I'm going to show that thing, just as a short running. I mean, I thought about doing a full video of it as, like, a for sale video. Thought about it. I don't think I will, but we'll see. Sorry. Ugh. Freaking thing. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just checking a notification on my phone from TikTok. And anyways, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what we find with the Avalanche, and I'm hoping it doesn't cost my dad too much, but might need to do front brakes as well. Might be a caliper issue, might be a brake line issue. We'll see how that kind of works out. Because I rightfully do not know exactly what it is, but like I said, I gotta put more mileage on it before I can properly check and see if there's any extra wear on the pads and stuff. So, like I said, I'll be taking the truck to Olds tomorrow, and then doing that video on the auction, doing the video on the T-Bird. Because that's the thing, if people don't know, the T-Bird's still around. Like, I posted a short little video saying, like, it's for sale and stuff. And to contact me if, you want it. Now, like, and I wish I could keep that thing. Like, genuinely, I would huck Mousetrap out the door in a heartbeat for that T-Bird. 100%. But, unfortunately, I can't afford it. So, there's that. There's that. Because that T-Bird would be pretty swank. Pretty darn swank. To actually have. Now, like, I kind of want to get something that's a little more luxurious. Don't get me wrong, like something like that T-Bird, but maybe, I don't know, something on the Fox body realms, like a Mark 7, as an example, would be pretty awesome. I've always wanted a Mark 7, and like I owned a Mark 7 technically, but it didn't work out very well. I could buy it back, to be honest, if I had the money. Like, and I've thought about that, and then I've thought about, like, just seeing what I could come up with that BMW motor and taking it apart again. Because I'd love to have that Mark 7 with that BMW straight 6 diesel. Because hell yeah. Like, that's a pretty cool combination. And the only thing that would be a weird thing to try and figure out is, well, what exactly, why there's no electrics until you open the passenger door? Like, what is grounding out to allow that to happen? And then why is it that, you know, like I said, that there's no electrics? And I don't know. Like, that'd be an interesting one to try and figure out. But, like, electrical is not my thing. Like, I could probably get the motor to run, but there needs to be a bunch of work done to make that happen. And, like, I've kind of thought about it, and I'd want to see, of potentially getting that thing on the road again. And who knows, maybe I do that later on, because, like, I'll talk to Keith about it and see if he would sell me that Mark 7 again, like, back. And then I will actually, like, try and get that thing on the road. Be kind of cool. And just to see, like, worst case scenario, I can't do it and it just costs me too much, and I just say screw it and move on from it. Because it was such a cool car. And it would have been a really cool video series. You know, it would have been. But we'll see, we'll see. Like, I don't know if... I wonder if I can get Pat in on help me with that. Because I know, like, Keith would not be interested at all with that. I don't know if Roy would be interested in helping me out with that, but, like, Pat has the know-how. He's got the shop. Maybe. I don't know. I got to talk to some people and see. Because, like I said, I do want to get to that thing and do that. I'd have to get rid of my Capri first. You know, the parts car Capri, which is not a problem. I just need to cut out some parts and remove some parts, and then we'll be good to go. Which I might see if... So this is the debate of maybe... Yeah, I just had a thought. I'd have to talk to my buddy and see, like, hey, if I wanted to come up to Edmonton in the next couple of days, could I try and cut out the rear quarters and pull the rest of the parts off that Capri, and then end up just scrapping it? And, like, I'd even allow him to scrap it if he wanted to. But, you know, either that or can we load it onto a trailer, then I can scrap it, or even I'd let him scrap it maybe, because I might not have enough time. So... We'll see, and that would also give, I could take the Avalanche up, and that'd be a nice little runway for it to be, you know, driving it a bunch and doing it that way. I don't know, I'll talk to him, actually. Maybe, like, tomorrow I'll try and call him and see how he's doing, and then see what he feels like and how he's feeling and stuff. And then, yeah, and I can cut out, like I said, there's rear quarters in the Capri, pull off the rear bumper and taillights, pull off any other parts, like maybe try and get the steering column out of it, get the dash out of it, get anything worth value out of it, and then get the sail panels out of it, because those are still good. And then send that bitch to scrap. Well, also, we'd have to pull out the 8.8 rear end, too. Before it's actually scrapped. And that's why I'd want to put it, like, up on the trailer, or if we can get it up in the lift and then pull the trailer into the shop and lower that down onto the, you know, that way. I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, I gotta talk to him about it. And see also if the shop is even open or not. You know? And hey, Will Dog, what's happening? Because that'd be pretty cool to be able to have, like, the 8.8 rear end and shit like that as well. Um, like, pulled out and then figure out, honestly, with how that's all going to work out. That way, and, like, and see how many parts I can actually pull off that thing, because I don't really know. I'm trying to think. So, yeah, rear bumper, taillights, sail panels, rear quarters, I don't know, do I attempt to cut out any of the floor? Maybe pull the, pull the rear end. Maybe pull the gas tank? See if it's a good... Because if the gas tank is actually decent, I might just keep it around in case I need a gas tank in the future, you know? It's always nice to have spare parts. So, and I could just throw it in my shed up there, because I've got a shed up there. It's kind of nice. But it's laying down in bed, that is fair. I mean, it is, 11:30 at night. Or at least where I am, it's 11:30 at night. So, yeah, maybe that's a plan. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and call Keith tomorrow, and then see what's up with him and stuff, and White Fluffy Duck, and go from there. So, that could be pretty exciting, actually. That's 1:30 where you were. Oh, okay, so you're Eastern time then. Eastern time zone. And yeah, where I am Mountain time. Right? So, And then what's kind of interesting is, so I'll have to talk to Pat and see when he's out here next. Because if he's going to be out here fairly soon-ish, I can get him to take a look at those rear quarters, because he's actually the one that was going to be, welding in the rear quarters, but might have him do a mold of that, and because, like we were talking about before, of potentially do carbon fiber instead. It'd be pretty neat. And then we could do a bit of a wide body with it. A little bit. Because, we just have to build onto it, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. We'll kind of see. Although, alternatively, do I... Ooh, that's a good question, actually. No, that's not a good idea. I was thinking, like, maybe I should, like, get that thing and, like, put the Capri on a trailer and just bring it down here. But I don't think that's a good idea. Because, I mean, there's one place I could technically park the trailer. I just need to talk to Greg about it, and I'm sure he'd be fine with it. But then, working on it would be a bit of a challenge. Being out at his place rather than here. Because, I mean, legit, I would just... I don't know. My brain is just not working. But then what would be cool, though, like, I don't have a trailer, so I'd have to borrow a trailer is the tricky thing. And technically, yes, I can borrow a trailer. Like, I have trailers I can borrow from multiple different sources. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Just thinking, that's all. And it's also, like, it's gonna be fun, though, too, when Pat finally has, like, all of his house stuff done. Like, he said it was gonna be maybe in December at some point, and we're coming up in December. Arden, we're not... So here's the thing. With the wide body, if we're doing wide body, we're not doing metal for the wide body. Like, if we're doing this, we're doing carbon fiber, like I mentioned. Because carbon fiber is not that expensive, to be honest. That's not. Like... Seems like it. Like, they never ended up, saying anything back or anything like that. Because trust me, I mean, if I sold Mousetrap for $7,000, that would open things up a lot. Like, Stitch would get her full wide body. I'd buy some little beater. I mean, actually, there's a perfect car that's for sale right now. There is, it's like an 89. I've actually done a video on the Sentra. right? It's like a 1989 Nissan Sentra. It's for sale again. I did a video on this thing like 3 or 4 years ago. And then I guess my enthusiasm made her want to keep the car, and now it's up for sale again. Because I highly doubt there's another white, Sentra from the late 80s around here. Like, I highly doubt that. It's probably the same car. And that thing was such a peach and was in such good shape, too. Like, that's one of those kind of cool, funky cars, that you never see that would make just a great little driver that way. I mean, or I find something else that's a little more fun. But then also on the flip side, like if somebody bought Mousetrap for $7,000, which again is just way too much effing money for that truck, but if they wanted to, I won't say no. Like, put it this way: if I had $7,000, I'd be getting that Lincoln Mark 7 diesel back on the road. I'd actually ask my buddy Roy if he could do it. I'd pay him, whatever it costs to do it. And, like, he'd give me a buddy deal, but still. Like, I'd want to make sure he's adequately compensated for that. And then I'd get that on the road, actually. And then have that. I wouldn't have a truck anymore, but, that'd be cool. Because I highly doubt it would cost me $7,000 to fix that thing, but maybe it would. It depends on what parts it needs, Like, example, with that motor, I don't know what's good and what's not with it. Does it need a rebuild, as an example? Because it's been sitting for a long time without any fucking oil in it. So there's that. Like, I put a little bit of oil in it, just to coat the camshaft, because, like, he said that there was no valves in the head, so I wanted to pop the valve cover off to take a look, and sure shit, yeah, there was no valves in it. It's just like, are you kidding me? And what's really dumb about that is, so, like, they bolted the head down, didn't install the valves, it's overhead cam, they installed the cam, they installed the timing belt, but didn't install the valves. Because if they had installed the valves and then just kept it that way, I may have tried to get that thing running. Because all I would have had to do was just bolt the turbo back in and Bob's your uncle, right? And then all the intake piping and stuff like that, put that back in, figure out the electrical issues, run it. It would have been really cool. And like I said, I keep thinking about it. Because I want to play with a diesel, and it's dumb. And it's one of the stupidest diesels I could play with. Because genuinely, that's the M21 diesel, I believe it's called, from BMW that they put in those Lincolns. Like, it is so ridiculous, like, it's a ridiculous diesel. Because they actually started with a straight 6 gas and converted it to diesel, right? So they did very similar things to what Oldsmobile did to make their diesel. And it'd be fun, but we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know how it's all gonna work out with that. But yeah, I'm gonna contact Keith and see what's up with him and see, if I can come up in the next couple of days and just see how much work can get done on the Capri. That way, like, I can get the bumper to the taillights out. That's not a problem. But it's all the rest of the stuff. And also, I have that guy, which I need to find his info again. But he needed crash bars for his Fox body. So I have crash bars, technically, in that parts car. So I could try and get some money out of those as well. And what's nice, so they'll be nice and exposed to be able to actually get them off, because there's no front clip on the car. So, and then the rear one, I just need to take the bumper cover off. And then, because there was something I thought about doing. I don't know if I'll do this, but maybe I'll see how it's going to look and go from there. So, with Stitch, I had thought about, and it's been done before, I've thought about swapping the back end from the Mustang to the Bubbleback Capri rear end. I've thought about it. I don't know if I would go through with it. But the best part is that I could bolt that bumper in and put the taillights in and see if I like it. You know, because all I'm doing is drilling a couple extra holes. It's not a big deal. I can always fill them in later if I need to. So, Oh, and that's my dad messaging me. Messaging me a reel. Price is Right thing, so there's going to be copyrighted music, so I can't play that while I'm live. Okay, he probably doesn't know I'm live streamed at the moment. And your uncle had a diesel Delta 88? Yeah, and what's interesting, actually, is so many people actually had those old diesel, and they actually swap back to gas. And yeah, it is. The diesel 350 is literally an old 350 gas motor, and they put glow plugs in it, and then also updated the internals a little bit, and increased the compression from about 8.5 to 1 to, I think they're like 18 to 1 for those. So people have actually converted them back, because all it takes is just swapping out the heads. That's it. And it's really not too bad to do. Of course, you got to swap out the fuel system though too, because that like, I think the fuel tanks were different too. I'm wrong on that, but I think they were. But yeah, it's not hard to do, apparently. Like, I've heard there was lots of people that did it back in the day because they weren't known for their reliability and stuff. But people have actually played around with them and have had decent luck with them at the same time. It's kind of one of those weird things. There we go. So, I don't know. We'll kind of see. And then, as well, with if I got that sort of money, somebody would go into Stitch as well. Like, I get the head checked out, make sure that's all good to go. Get a valve job and get it, and go from there. Like, it'd be fantastic, honestly. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't know if it's really gonna work out. It might not. Who knows? It'll be worth, playing around with, though. That's for certain. I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. There's so many, like, little projects and stuff like that I want to do, and so many other things that would be fun to play with. But I don't know. Well, I mean, oddly enough, it's kind of funny though. If that guy that was being serious about the $7,000 for for Mousetrap, I might take a lot of that money and buy the T-Bird. Because I could actually buy the T-Bird for cheaper than anybody else. So, that thing's such a peach of a car. Yeah, oh yeah, like, they take quite a bit longer to actually, heat up and stuff, so you can actually run them. But that is fine. Like, I just have to make sure it's plugged in. It's not a big problem. Nice. I like that. Oh, and my dad's sending me another reel. So, can you tell he's bored at work? Yep, I'll have to look at that later. Because again, I just want to make sure there's no copyrighted music so that I don't get a copyright strike. So, like, I got to be careful with that sort of stuff. But yeah. Let's see. So, no, I'm just trying to think. Like I said, that Mark 7 would be cool, and it's something I've always kind of wanted. You know. And we'll kind of see how everything pans out. With everything, and white fluffy duck, and shit, and whatever. Sorry, you know what? I started this live stream, and I had a lot more energy when I started it, but now my energy is just drained all of a sudden. So, I actually think I'm gonna try and go to bed, and see if I can get to bed at a reasonable... You know, like, actually get to sleep at a reasonable hour. So, I just want to say thank you for everybody tuning into live. Sorry I'm cutting it short. It's only like 26-minute live, but I'm so tired right now. So take care of yourselves. Thanks for tuning in, and like I said, we will see what happens. There'll be a couple of videos out tomorrow. Like, there's gonna be that short on the T-Bird, and then there's gonna be, obviously, the junkyard to it? No, fuck. Brain! The auction video. Frick. Yeah. Brain is no longer here. Talk to you guys later.